So today, I want to try something a little bit different. Normally, every build that I do is some sort of overall centerpiece. Like there's one building, a house, a cathedral, whatever, that is the whole idea. But today, I want to try something, and I don't know if it's been coined as a term, but I want to call it micro building. And all I really think that should mean is just rather than doing a bunch of big builds or one singular thing, we do lots of little builds. A shed, a bee, garden or something. Things like that. Small individual builds that all coalesce into one big thing. So if that sounds good to you, I'm going to do that today. I'm going to do a mostly unedited building style, video style. Not really going to have a lot of things cut out or anything. It's just going to be more or less my process. So if that sounds good to you, let's get started. So I am actually continuing a build that I just did. This is a house down here on the river, and I guess the reason that I'm thinking about this micro building idea is because this here, like there is a house, but then there's lots of little things. Like I built this path off to the side that doesn't go anywhere, but it's got some rocks to it. Over here we've got a little enchantment set up, and these are just micro builds that are scattered around. There's a cave down in here with skulls. Like there's nothing really much to it other than that. And so I want to continue that today. So what I'll start with is expanding some pathways, and then we'll just kind of go through a list of ideas, Like I thought about a fallen log somewhere could be cool, a fallen tree. Well, let's just grab some path blocks and we will get started right about here. And if you are curious, the mod pack that I'm using is Better Adventures Plus. You can find that information in the description. This path is like a village path right here. You can't really get up that. There's no dirt stair, but I guess I could commandeer this with stone. Like this could be a stone section. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's do a well. That's a good start. Let's build a small stone well. With a cauldron, perhaps. Man, I wish there was like a corner bit. I guess a wall could work, but it won't connect up to this. Well, I do want to have a little covering. There's no real plan with this, just to be clear. I don't know what any of these micro builds will be yet. I want it to come to a point. That's actually kind of interesting. That's cool. And then water. Can you waterlock a chain? I've never tried to do that. Oh yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. If I could squeeze in a grindstone, that would be pretty interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. Like a micro build well. That's like the first of many to come. Just put some stuff around it. Maybe a lantern somewhere. Like, well, it's a forest though, so it's not going to be like lampposts per se. We could do a torch. I think that's too bright. Let's do spruce instead. That's too much. Too much. Alright, cool. Good start. What else? Like I said, the house is down here. I could do a little shed. I did this thing, but like a tool shed somewhere could be cool. Let's push this wall back. That's a good amount of room. Alright, and then the shed will be pretty small. Obviously, we're doing micro builds. And I'll nestle it right up against the wall here. And it'll match this, same roof color. I want it to be a little bit more dingy. I kind of like that spruce log. Maybe that's a better approach. This is a little flat right here. We could spruce that up like this. Alright, and then in here, obviously a spruce door. It's kind of like a shack. And I might leave it as dirt. And then we'll just pile up some chests. Maybe a crafting table too. And some light candles. Alright, not a lot of room in here, but that's by design. Alright, another micro build complete. What else? What else are we lacking around here? I did quite a few, like, branching ideas. This could go down the stream here. I can make this into, like, a new cave. That'd be cool. Custom cave. Let's try that. Wait, iron ore is called hematite now? I did not know that. I'm using a new data pack called Matcha Flavored. That must be changing that. Yeah, let's clear this out the fun way. Alright, stand back. Yeah, I can work with this. Oh, a flooded cave would be kind of cool. I mean, it's more down than I thought it would be. That'd be interesting. To make this cave feel darker, I could put deep slate on the underside and tough to shadow this more. Yeah, it's subtle, but that's cool. Alright, now let's do the outside. this is really cool. And now I'll just finish up with some leaves and some grass. Yeah, I feel like something like micro building takes the pressure off. You have to make something really cool and absolute, right? Like you can just bounce around from project to project and it's really fun. I've probably always built in this style. I just never tried to call it anything like micro building. Never given it a name. But this is just kind of how I roll. All right, that's good. Let's extend the boardwalk down. That would be cool. That's a little too close. Let's have this finish up right there. And then let's push this back a little bit. And that'll go up to something. All right, that's a nice extension. What else? What else can we do? This pathway went up to nothing, really. Let's merge those together. Okay, well, I talked about a B spot. There was a flat area right up here. And this connected up to the enchantment spot I built last time. That could be cool. Nothing too big, as always, but I like doing scaffolding and beehives. And, oh wait, you get to see how many bees are in there. That's cool. More information. Yeah, just like a few of them. I learned recently how you actually breed up bees. You feed them flowers. I know that might be a shock to some of you that I didn't know that, but I didn't. This path up here can be pretty downtrodden, not very well established. Okay, so how would I spruce this up? I think a wall here would be cool. Maybe, well, I was gonna say I should flatten that down, but I could just make this like flowers. And not torches, we'll do candles up here. And we'll do yellow candles for bees. And then obviously we need bees. And then they need their flowers. Oh, not the rain. Oh well. Alright, that's cute. Hey guys, hey. This is for building, not for eating. It's a little bit dark here. Let's get some lanterns. Just do like one lantern like that. Alright, this is very cute. I'd say it's a good micro build. Nice expansion. What else? An herb garden, maybe? I did this garden, but like... oh. Goodness. there any other plants I could grow? Like a fern garden or something? Or like a firefly bush garden? That would be cool. I'm going to start by sprucing this up a little bit. Yeah, there's not a lot of real estate on this river. It's pretty hard to build on, but I guess if the farm is here, the garden could go up here. But again, it's not very flat. Can you place firefly bushes on slabs? Yeah, okay. That's fine then. Oh my god, the particles are going to be insane. We could weave in a couple of these dead bushes to look like ones that maybe needed some more water. Oh, these are all slabs. Oh, okay. Let's do a stone wall to separate this right here. A big boulder. This is pretty aesthetic already. Maybe with a little more grass here. Again, they're micro builds, so I'm not supposed to spend too much time on any given one. Feels a little incomplete still. What's it missing? I don't know, maybe I don't overthink it. This is cool. I like all the particles. What else could we do? Like a firewood chopping spot, maybe? That'd be really simple. right here. Yeah, there we go. I mean, maybe I could get some kindling here, turn it off, so it looks like firewood that's been chopped up. That's cool. Let's spruce up this little hill right here. Make it more stony. That looks so much better when you weave in stone like that. That's good. Let's just put some grass on it. Alright. Very cool. I don't know if this would look dumb, but I almost want to have like an elevated walkway right here. Let me try it. I mean, it's kind of right next to this one, but it could be cool. I don't think jungle actually looks good, though. That's a bit repetitive, but we could get some buttons. And then even some banners, probably. Yeah. That's cool. I don't know if it needs an awning above it. Like this. That's cool. I like that, actually. That's cool. I think jungle is the best. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad I did that. Alright. Another micro build for the books. Maybe a sweet berry vineyard? Or just, well, let's do a path through here. Yeah, something could go right there. It's a bit small for a sweet berry area, but I could try. Well, I don't know. More like a gazebo makes more sense here. Like a structure of some sort. Yeah, I think a gazebo would be cool. Alright, this is cool. I think some candles would be necessary. Yeah, that's nice. Micro build, of course. You know, it's not supposed to be big. I'm like overthinking things, I feel like, but this can just be what it is. Maybe with just a little bit more detail. And should this be open here? Yeah, because it's floating. I think I like that. Cool. There's the gazebo. Well, not quite. Alright, there we go. That's cool. It's just some fences on the side of these paths here. Very small details. Alright. I'm very satisfied with this so far. Let's turn back to this part down here. I wanted to do more of like a fishing pier. And we could do a micro build like right here. I'll just use the same blocks I used down here. I put dark oak below the water line so it looks a little bit more saturated. God, this is going to be a really ragtag pier right here. Very dilapidated. I guess that could be like the nice one. And then this is like the older, shitty one that's been falling apart for a few years. It's good to give your builds character like that. I mean, that's a little too much. This could be connected up with a small little walkway. That's not bad. I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit repetitive with the spruce. I need something more. Need a ladder. And then a boat. That's cool. What about like a sunken boat, maybe? Or some wreckage? Let's do that. Kind of a sunken boat or something that wrecked here. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but it's kind of interesting. Like that wreckage probably would have actually gotten pushed, so that shouldn't be there. But it could be like right here. Little bits and pieces of the ship that have smashed apart. Can you not waterlog fence gates? Oh. That's news to me. That's cool. A little bit of character with that. This is a pretty wide river, but I could do like a little beaver dam. Maybe I find a smaller stream for that. Like up here, maybe? Yeah, like right here. That's perfect. Make it out of wood and not planks. That's too refined. I guess yeah, wood is fine. Wood and fences and leaf litter. That's cool. I guess that reads as a beaver dam, right? I wish I could place sticks. I guess I could place kindling. Kind of looks like piles of wood. Anything else? I think that's good. Good micro build. Haven't done any sugarcane yet. We could do that on the riverbank here. I know sand doesn't make it grow any faster, but I'm kind of a classic player where I just like to do sand if I can. Do a little more over here too. Alright, that's good. Haven't done a water wheel yet, or like a water mill. It might be a little large though, for a micro build. Stepping stones maybe? I kind of experimented with that here last time. Like some large stepping stones in the water, that would be cool. So this is a really deep river. My goodness. But I could do that. Let's do it with gravel. This is so far down. I could clone this with Axiom. I decided to add Axiom. Just so I don't have to build the whole thing twice. And then we can modify it a little bit. That's cool. They do stand out pretty strongly, though. I don't know if leaves would look good underwater, but maybe that can be a way to... Or, like, have kelp. I just need more plants around them. I think leaves could work. As a start. Yeah, let's get some kelp out. Yeah, that's working for sure. Oh, man. Kelp was a good decision. I do have to hook this up to a path somehow. But yeah, that fills it up. For sure. Glad I did that. Okay, that's good. Well, maybe a couple more. Yeah, now we'll do some sort of pathway. I could make this carve into this side and connect up to the cave. And then do a little wooden bridge there. I feel like I shouldn't actually use path blocks here because it's kind of like a really off the beaten path kind of thing. Maybe just one or two, but not many. Yeah, it's really, really dingy, but that's kind of the point. Yeah, that's cool. And then this side, this is going straight into a pretty big hill. I don't know where this will go. Maybe I'll make this wind up and this will be a stone path. This would be a cool spot for a fence. Flatten this down a little bit. Man, this is one big ass hill. Alright, and then that will connect up to that path. Once I detail all this, this will all be stone. Cobblestone. I'll throw some gravel in here too, I think. Okay. And now it's curving all the way up. I think there was a little bit more to do though. Yeah, up here. Okay, that looks nice. Let's do some mossy blocks now. Like literal moss carpet. Down here near the water line. Alright, that's nice. I'm gonna leave this open. Feels kind of sketchy. Might fall off. Let's just round out with some lanterns. Alright, that's really cool. Let's just beef this up a little bit. I mean, can you cross? Oh yeah. Alright, that's fine. A little bit bigger of a micro build, but that was fun. I love landscaping. What else? What else could we do? I could do a fallen tree. I've not done that yet. I just gotta find a spot for it. Like a tree that kind of fell across this gap. That'd be cool. That's cool. And then we'll put some leaves and grass on it. Like some mushrooms too. Yeah, that's cool. Some fungus. Yeah, that's like the spirit of micro building right there. Just like a little tiny thing. Took me like a minute or two to make it. Not too bad. Not bad at all. Maybe like a big stump if I'm in kind of like a tree mindset. Also, this part feels empty. I want to do like some leaves, some boulders. I don't like this. Just I think it's also that there's two kind of circular buildings right here, or features. Let's just break up the sight line a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Put something in between these things. Get a little bit more down here. Alright, that's cool. I guess what I could do next is beef up the, not beach per se, but like this stuff right here with, like crops growing, and plants growing right on the side. Like lily pads. I've not done any of these lily pads yet. Right here. Oh, they're so aesthetic. What? That's cool. Just bone meal this whole hill, honestly. Alright, that's better. I don't want too many of these lilies. I want lilacs to take precedent. That's pretty. Oh, we need some here for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, that's cool. Although I don't want it to connect too much to this part. Looks like a path, almost. Yeah, a little bit of separation there. That's better. Maybe some here? You know, I've not done any ruins yet. We could do that next. If I can find a spot for it. Oh, I did not connect up the path from this to this either. Let's do that. Alright, that's fine. Let's do a ruin somewhere. This is not the best building terrain, I will say. I'm surprised how much I've been able to build here in spite of it being pretty hilly. Maybe over here somewhere? Like this little sunken marsh could work. Yeah, let's do this here. Someone's been asking me for several days now in the comments to build a sunken ruin, so this could be my way of appeasing that. It's not that I don't want to do the idea, I just have not found the right timing, but this is a good video to do that for. This could be like an old church or something. This is cool, like a tree growing where the building once was. That's cool, and then the center needs some mud and coarse dirt. This is like a sunken marsh, right? We need some mud. Alright, this is good. I wonder if I could do like an old altar somewhere, like here. The altar remains. It's alright. I wish there was a little bit skinnier of a stone block than stairs. But alas, that's fine. that's fine. Alright. Another micro build for the books. I haven't really done much farming beyond what I built last time. I could do some more, maybe up on the hill or something. And it's not really like, it's more like an undefined size. What would make a farm really work, but I could do that. Like, I don't want to get too far away from the micro build idea. I want to keep them all kind of small, but I can start with that and then see where it goes. We'll see. I don't want to get too invested in the farm, by the way. I don't want to make it too big because, like, I want to plant seeds in other parts of the map. And I saw this tree right here. It's not too far. The farm is just over the hill. But it'd be really cool to just work on this as a mini build. Like, I don't know, like a tree house with multiple platforms sounds cool. A like a villager tree where there's like different levels and there's workstations. I don't know. I just want to do something with this tree. Like a ladder. Right here as a start. Oh, goodness gracious. Right here would be cool. Like there could be different rooms in this treehouse. Oh no! Prickle. I'm gonna place them manually. I don't want them to decay. Okay. Maybe not then. Still looks pretty normal. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, if it's going to be that much of a pain in the ass, though, I don't know if I'll do every single bulb. Like with the leaves decaying, but it's fine. Let's just do different platforms. We could do one here. This is such an interesting tree. Maybe a watchtower up here. That's cool. So if you're up here... Yeah, that's so awesome. Oh, I should have some lanterns with chains. I don't need to fully detail this tree or like do a ton with it, but just enough to establish a presence would be really cool. And also beefing up these branches would be nice. cool. So cool. I'll put a few clearances down. Why not? Haven't done this in a while. Clearance. Booyah. Clearance time. And then we could do like a path beneath the tree. I won't fully do this path. This is pretty far out, but we can start the foundation of it. Let's do mud closest to the roots of the tree. Alright, now let's put some flowers around. It's pretty, very pretty. Let's put some grass down. Ooh, some mushrooms in the tree. Some fungus. Okay. Path is pretty well established. Just do a few fences with torches, and then we'll get back to the farm. All right. What a cool little micro build. A little bit larger than the other ones, but there's Clarence. Cool. All right, let's go back to the farm now. You know, something that I thought of was, you know, Hadrian's Wall in England, I think it is, like that ancient Roman wall. I feel like a ruined, like, big chunk of wall would be cool somewhere. I know I did the ruin from earlier, the little church, and I know I said micro builds. I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself here, but somewhere around here where that could make sense. I don't know, like, this is such a cool little carved river. Like, maybe just a little ruined circular fort right here would be cool. I don't know. Let's try that. I'll put on symmetry for this, just so it's nice and circular, and then I'll mess with it. Oh, it's raining. Kind of nice. Alright, that's a good foundation. cool entrance. I don't want to overdo it on the plants, but that's pretty cool. Now let's do a little bit of commandeering. Oh, do I want to put any, like, platforms on it? I don't know if I do. Should I leave it, like, totally decrepit? No one lives here. Maybe I should do that. But let's at least connect it up to this path here. I must have lost my path hotbar. But it looks like I could use this one. Should this come down at all? That could be kind of cool, how it crosses the river. Or just go all the way along the ridge and connects up that way. Maybe the latter. I've really grown, by the way, to like this technique of path making. I know people get kind of tripped up at times on how to make their paths look good. Like, literally just run with a shovel, and that will generate probably a natural path shape, because that's how your player is moving. You know what I mean? Like, this is already curving. I mean, it's not the best, but like this one that I built earlier, like, look how natural that looks. And I did this just by running. I didn't, like, count anything out. I just did what felt natural and what would, like, kind of work with the terrain a little bit. It's like, honestly, like, this does not look that good. Maybe I'll refine it a little bit, but you know what I mean? Just run how your player would run. Yeah, let me do this secondary one. That does not look very good. Okay, so how is that gonna look? That's pretty cool. Snakes around. Let's finish this up. This path technique also kind of forces you to work more with the terrain when you just run on these slabs like this, and how the terrain snakes up. Like, you don't really make perfectly straight paths when you're just running like a madman. Which I think is ultimately a good thing. Makes your paths look better. Okay, so I won't do fences for this one just because I'm going to treat it more like a not well-traveled area, like just to some ruins, but that's really cool. A little circular fort, more or less. An ancient, decrepit thing. Pretty cool. So I think now I'm going to finish up the farm, and I might take a little bit more time with this section. I want to make it like a properly big farm and fill out the space, so might be a little bit longer of an unedited section, but I think I'll just round out that farm, and then we'll call that good for the video. All right, let's finish it up. All right, I'd say that's good for now. That was a lot of farming, I know, but I like this. I know it kind of goes beyond a bit of the scope of the miniature micro building, but this thing here I thought would be a cool micro build, like a little picnic spot with a beautiful view. Overlooks the house down below and the river, so I think that's good. I'm gonna call it here. And yeah, let me know if you liked the micro building aesthetic idea, whatever you want to call it. I thought it was pretty cool to treat it more like a bunch of miniature small builds all around. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you liked it, and I will see you next time.